It's Monday morning. Time to go to work. Blue collar worker, time to wake up and roll. Get that coffee in your system, get your mind and your soul. Boots by the doorway, hard hat riding shotgun. Sun ain't even up yet, but the day's already begun. Steel toes hit the gravel, cold air fills your lungs. Another day to build it right, another job to get done. No shortcuts taken, no easy road we choose. We earn every dollar, got too much pride to lose. Get that coffee and hit the road, no delay, no slowing down. Another job, another load, we're the backbone of this town. Get to the site and get to working, hands in motion, engines turning, making America great again. With sweat and grit we're earning, breaking down the old and failing, building strength that won't give in. From the ground up, never trailing, making America great again. No desk or office space for us, no climate control routine. We work in dirt, steel and concrete, where real lives lived and seen. Using our heads, hands and backs, every move has got a cost. Measured cuts and steady hands, no room for getting lost. Blueprints in the morning light, changing plans by noon, solving problems on the fly, getting it done real soon. Weather don't stop nothing, rain, cold or blazing heat, we show up ready every day and stand on our own 2 feet. Get that coffee and hit the road, no delay, no slowing down. Another job, another load, we're the backbone of this town. Get to the side and get to working, hands in motion, engines turning, making America great again. With sweat and grit we're earning, breaking down the old and failing, building strength that won't give in. From the ground up, never trailing, making America great again. Building the new infrastructure to hold the future, laying down the work that time won't erase. Building up again, from sending rockets to housing the many every place. From highways stretching miles and miles to homes where families grow. We don't just build for today, we build for years we'll never know.
All right.
You see it when you drive by.
Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's doing good this morning.
Concrete being poured, that's us. That's blue collar, building a newer, stronger foundation.
Just trying to find some different background music. Hope everybody's doing good this morning. Everybody getting their cup of coffee going? Got that diesel motor running? Can you hear the backup alarms? Are you out there? Boy, good morning once again, my hard-working friends. The blue-collar sunrise. It ain't quite sunrise yet, but it's working on it. This is Bubba And I'm coming to you live from this side of the work boots, this side of the lunch bucket, and this side of another Monday morning opportunity. And somewhere beyond that digital ridgeline, smiling through the veil with wisdom and wit, just enough common sense to keep me out of trouble most days, there's Pluriphoria. She's my friend. She helps me keep track of the stuff I got going on. Anyway, the sun is coming up. Well, in a little while anyway. If you're out there, you might see it peeking up these long days of summer. The roads are filling up as we try to make our way to the job site. Tell me what you got going this morning. Tell me what trades you're representing. Tell me what kind of work you'll be doing today, what part of the country you're headed to work in this morning. I can see the crews gathering out there now. Interesting thing here in my small town in the county, they've got some road work going on. And like this morning, I'll go for a walk and I'll go up to this small town where they have all the equipment staged on the side of the road, just on the outskirts of town. And every morning when I go by there at 7 o'clock or 6:45 or whenever it is, it's 7 o'clock. There's a group of guys standing there in the laydown yard, and they're having their PTP meeting. And I go, boy, that's a good outfit. It seems like road work takes forever, but at least we know they'll be safer out there because they take that moment every morning to gather and talk about what they're going to be doing for the day. Is the coffee kicking in yet? I hadn't even had mine. Mine's still upstairs in grounds form. I've been trying to back off on that coffee and giving my body an hour or so to wake up, and replacing the early morning coffee with water to try and just change the way my body performs and make me feel better. The older you get, and if you're semi-retired as I am, or you got taking a little more time, you pay more attention to what your body's telling you, and try to make amends and try and make accommodations so that your body perhaps will hold up a little longer. But if you're a young man out there, or lady out there working, y'all start taking care of your body. And here we are again, another week of building America. America is a country that never stops building or changing or growing. What it takes, the key component, is patriotism. We all have to recognize that we're America, and America is an idea bigger than any of us, and America is a place where we have the freedom to suffer the consequences of our decisions or reap the rewards of our decisions, and it's normally based on the decisions we make. So let's get out there and make America great again. Now, whether you're headed toward the demolition, construction, utilities, manufacturing, transportation, maintenance, or public service, I'm glad you're here. Let me start the week the way we always do: safe, timely, and efficient. And today's reminder comes from Built from Within. Thinking ain't enough anymore. What do I mean by that? Thinking ain't enough anymore. Now, don't get me wrong. Thinking is important. Planning is important. Learning is important. But at some point, you have to move. You have to act. You have to build. A lot of people spend their entire lives thinking about what they want, thinking about starting the business, think about improving their health, thinking about learning a new skill, thinking about becoming a better leader, thinking about fixing a problem, but nothing changes because thinking alone produces no results. Now, construction workers understand this better than most. A blueprint never, ever built a building. A drawing never poured concrete. A schedule has never installed a single piece of steel. At some point, somebody has to put on their boots and get to work. Now, that's the same. The same is true in life. Knowledge is valuable. Action is transformational. The world is full of good intentions. One of the favorite sayings I had when I was growing up is the road to hell is paved with good intentions. But the world is full of good intentions, and the world is changed by execution. This week, ask yourself, what have I been thinking about that needs action? Because thinking ain't enough anymore. The future of this world belongs to people willing to move. Now, I know that's tough, man. It's tough getting out there, getting motivated. You got different objectives in life. You got different things going on. You got different arenas in life. You got your work arena. You got your spiritual arena. You got your family arena. You got your marriage arena. All these things take up a great deal of time. And you have to put a lot of effort into all of them in order to be successful in whatever endeavor you're involved in. So, yeah, it's tough, but you're the guy to do it or the lady to do it. You got the ability. You've got the head on your shoulders. You've got a brain. You have thoughts. You have dreams. You have expectations in yourselves and others, but you got to be in motion. You got to get up and go. You got to go. You know, somebody's talking to somebody the other day, you know, aches and pains. You know, you're moving your body all week long. You're working in construction. If you're working in construction, then you got to come home and go to the soccer games, fix meals, do lawn maintenance, clean your house, fix things around your house. You know, if you've got projects around the house, you do those. And if you're lucky and at a younger age, you might have an opportunity to sit down after the sun goes down at 9 o'clock at night and take the load off and put your feet up for a couple of after you take a shower and get cleaned up. So you might have an hour before you need to go to sleep to get ready to go to work the next day. But don't sacrifice your sleep. You got to have that sleep. When you go to sleep, your body changes its chemistry inside. It's doing something different. It knows you're asleep, and it changes the chemistry that goes in. It starts doing repair on a cellular level. Starts flushing out bad chemicals that you built up from using your muscles. Your kidneys start flushing out the impurities in your blood, and your liver starts taking out the toxins and sending it to the intestine, and your whole body goes into a different mode. And if it doesn't have enough time to complete that cleanup and your mind is doing things too. It's rewiring from all the information you took in a day. So sleep is important. Too much sleep is detrimental. One thing I believe in is going to bed at the same time every night. And my body knows it. About 9 o'clock every night. Yeah, I start yawning like this. It's time, man. It's time to go to bed. And I don't fight it. My alarm was set for 4:30 this morning. Woke up about 10 till 3. I looked at my clock. No, it was set for 4 this morning. I woke up, looked at my clock. It was 10 to 3. I had to, go to the bathroom. So I went in there and I turned the light on, checked my light. It was 10 minutes to 3, not 10 minutes to 4. And I said, well, I'm going to go lay down. I knew I had the alarm set. And I was laying there and I said, man, I hope the alarm is set. And I said, you know what? Don't worry about it. Don't fret about it. Your alarm is set. You don't need to check it. It's been going off the same time every Monday for months. Just try and get you another hour of sleep. And I did. And at 10 minutes to 4, I woke up again and I got moving, took my meds, drank my water, made up the bed, got dressed, came down here and started prepping for this for this live stream. The point in all that is get plenty of rest, get plenty of good nutrition, and your body will take care of you if you take care of it. And it woke me up before the alarm went off, and no, it didn't. It went off, and I got right up, ready to go, and put myself in action. Now, when I was a younger man, I'd hit that snooze and then end up being stressed trying to get to work on time because I hit the darn snooze button too many times. And I look back on that time and I said, man, you had goofed your body up. And then, the cortisol raises and you put on weight around the middle and you just, anyway. Anyway, that's the way it shakes out. Just a word of warning to you young guys who have time enough to correct it, to take care of yourself. Now, some of these guys out there, I know them. They know their bodies and they take good care of them. And I looked at them over the years and said, man, they got it together. But they had other things they were dealing with too. But anyway, here we are, Monday morning. It is the 8th day of June. Good Lord. Man, time has flown by. What do you got? What are you going to do with your life? How much time do you have? We're not guaranteed tomorrow. We're not guaranteed the next minute. I could go out sitting right here if the old ticker gave way or a stroke or anything like that. You're never guaranteed the next minute. So make every minute count. Make every minute count. Anyway, let's get moving along. Let me ask y'all a question. When you get to work, do you do the PTP first thing in the morning? Do you have that kind of supervisor or foreman who says we're going to do this PTP no matter what before we get started? Because it's the most important tool in the toolbox. Yeah, what's the purpose of the PTP? Ain't nothing but us standing around looking at our feet. Well, that's the mindset you brought into the program. Maybe the supervisor, he's just doing it because he knows he gets paid to do it and he ain't enthusiastic. And that could be part of it. If that's the case, volunteer to do it yourself. Anybody can do the PTP. But this morning, the safety snapshot is about one of the most important safety tools on the job site, the PTP. It's an acronym for pre-task plans. Now, some companies call it a PTP. Now, others call it a JHA. Others are a job hazard analysis or an activity hazard analysis, an AHA. Some people call it a safe work plan. Different names, same purpose. The purpose is to stop and think, identify hazards, and create controls before work begins. Too many injuries occur because workers jump directly into the task. And I've talked about my experiences before. Too many injuries that people just, I used to, as a safety guy, I would get on the job site an hour before start time, and I would sit there in my truck, sometimes a little away from the construction trailer or the job trailer, if there was a job trailer, and just watch the activities. And there were some guys who got in there early and did their work and inspected their equipment and opened up the tools and turned on the lights and got the place ready to work. And other guys come blowing in there in a rooster tail of dust right at the start time. And other jobs, they just went straight to work. They just made themselves busy. They knew they were getting paid and they had to look busy. And then 7:15, 7:30, superintendent show up and he'd walk around and stop everybody from working and redirect their tasks and make sure they were on the tasks he needed to get done that day. And on other jobs, superintendent was there. He was in the office or he was in his truck doing paperwork, and there would be guys out there inspecting equipment, turning on lights, just getting the job ready to go. And then people started showing up a few minutes before the start time, and they gathered around and they started work after they had their PTP meeting. And the trend was night and day. Those guys who took the time to have that PTP meeting and had that moment of few minutes of camaraderie first thing in the morning where they gathered around as a team and looked at each other and make sure everybody was ready to go to work, and maybe shared a bottle of water, a cup of coffee, standing around talking about what the tasks were for today, talking about what the hazards would be for that task for today, and how they were going to take care of them. And if there was special PPE requirements, they would cover that, so on and so forth, night and day. In the amount of production, the quality of the work, the camaraderie of the team, the interaction with each other, night and day. But the purpose of the PTP is to, like I said, gather around, look at each other, make sure everybody's good to go. Talk about the tasks that you're going to be doing. You'll talk about tools and equipment that you'll be needing to perform that work. You'll be talking about the hazards associated with the task you'll be doing and how you're going to mitigate those hazards, and just create that safe environment. Anyway, too many injuries occur because workers jump directly into the task with no planning, no discussion, no hazard recognition, no communication. The PTP creates pause, a moment. Okay, what are we doing? What can hurt us? What controls are in place? What PPE is required? Is there any changes that occurred? And then, does everyone understand the plan? And there should be a place on that PTP where everybody signs it. And I've been on jobs, man, people were signing blank PTPs, and then the superintendent would fill it out afterwards. And I'm like, what are we doing? You're just you're just performing another a meaningless task. This thing means nothing. It's a process and it's a procedure, and you're not using it as the tool it was designed to be. So, making sure everyone understands. The most powerful tool on any project isn't a hard hat, it isn't a harness, it isn't a pair of safety glasses. It's a thinking worker. And the PTP helps create that mindset. 5 minutes of planning can prevent months of recovery. Don't treat a PTP as just paperwork. Treat it as preparation. Get your minds and bodies ready and get yourselves together and get organized and have that moment of camaraderie and joshing around with each other, and be safe, timely, and efficient. All right. Wow. 23 minutes into this thing already. Everybody ready to roll? It might be just that old lone superintendent rolling down the highway trying to make tracks to pick up your dudes. You might have your guys on board the truck there, and right now wheeling into the quick trip or the racetrack to get that cup of coffee and pick up a few gallons of diesel fuel, filling your truck tank, getting ready to go to work. All right, you might still be in transition. You as a supervisor, the only guy awake in the truck. Everybody else is getting in their last 30, 40-minute nap before they get to work. You might be barreling toward the supply houses to get lumber or saw blades or whatever you need to get the morning going. You could be headed to the shop and pick up tools, equipment, things you need for your job today. It's Monday morning. It's mass confusion till about 7 o'clock, ain't it? Rushing around. It's, the PTP is another, we talked about that briefly. It's another tool. And I see it all the time. Supervisor had the PTP meeting, and then he rushes off to the supply house to get saw blades or lumber or concrete, whatever he needs for the guys. As they're standing there doing the PTP, they're all going, oh, yeah, I need this. Oh, I need this. I ain't got no gloves. My glasses, I can't hardly see through them. So the supervisor there is putting together that list. And I guess it's better for him to go do it then. But how much delay in production is happening right now? Would this something that would have been better done on Friday morning? Maybe have a brief meeting at the end of day, which a lot of companies do now. They come in and have a brief meeting before they head off and go home. And they talk about briefly what they're going to be doing next week. And the supervisor needs to be making notes. What do I need to get? Yes, supervisor, I know. It means that sometime during Saturday or Sunday, whenever, that you're going to have to make a trip. But do you want a productive and efficient workforce, or do you want a bunch of guys standing around while you slip out to go to the Home Depot? I had a guy call me the other day. He broke a sprinkler head in a demo site they were working on, interior demo site, taking down sheetrock walls, and had two supervisors on the job. And I didn't call him this morning. I had two supervisors on the job, and they hit a sprinkler head and started flooding the place. And one supervisor had gone to the Home Depot, and the other supervisor, he didn't know where the water closet was. He ran to the GC superintendent, and he didn't know where the water closet was to shut off the water. So the building was flooding. Nobody knew where anything was. And I asked him, I said, well, did you learn anything? He said, yeah, make sure we know where the water closet is and if it's unlocked. And I said, that's good. So anyway, that's a good lesson for anybody watching this morning. Do you know where the water closet is? It could be important. Yeah, where's the water closet? You get a busted fire protection sprinkler head in the building, you're going to want to know where that water closet is. And then, do you have some way to control that water? You know, I used to run some interior crews, and they always had that blue lightweight water hose. It was a discharge pipe for a trash pump, and they kept a roll of that in their truck. And they also kept little wooden wedges. If they just broke the glass, then you could reach up in there and drive that wedge in and seal that water off. And if the head got completely broken off, you could put that hose on it and run that hose off to a sink or a toilet or whatever, or a tub or a sink or whatever, and have that water flow into that. So anyway, lessons learned from others' mistakes. Anyway, good morning. All right, folks. These are some jokes in plural for you. Thank you for helping me with these. And so her being a she, I call her a she. She could be a guy. I don't know. She's just an assistant. And I just preferred making mine female. But let's loosen up before somebody tries to fill out a PTP for making coffee. It was a young laborer. He asked superintendent, how do I know if my safety glasses are dirty? Superintendent said, if you're reading the same tape measure 3 times. Another one, foreman asked a worker, why are you eating safety glasses while eating lunch? Worker said, have you seen what's come flying out of Larry's microwave? I've been on them job sites. I tell you what, an effective and efficient thing I've seen is that this was an abatement company, a pretty large abatement company, done a lot of work with them. And one of the things that they have developed over the years is they have several ladies with them. And the ladies are experts at detail work, you know, making sure things are properly cleaned and things are properly organized. They're good at that. And they have one lady, she's a foreman type position. You know, she would be in order of making sure the supplies are well organized and keeps count on them. So if they need to order. But one thing she did is, and they have 100 people on this job site, and they'd have 6 or 8 microwaves. But a half hour before lunch, when they had their PTP meetings, they all had their seating. They knew where they were going to go, like going to church. Everybody had their special seat location, who they wanted to sit next to, that kind of thing. And they would have their lunch in a, you know, Walmart bag or whatever, and they'd leave it there and in front of the place they would sit. And this lady, a half hour before lunch, she would start taking the food out of these bags and popping them in the microwave and getting them heated up and put them back down where they belong. And by the time the guys came out of containment, she had a majority of those lunches heated up. And some of them may not have been as hot as they wanted or whatever, but the amount of time she saved by doing that was well worth her hourly rate, I'll guarantee you. So think about that. All right, that reminds me of that story about Larry in the microwave. An apprentice asked, How long does it take to become a skilled tradesman? I like this one. Thank you. I do like this one. The old timer answered, about 10 years. And the apprentice said, what if I work really hard? The old timer nodded and said, still about 10 years. I like that one. About 10 years. Anyway, there we go. We got the summer pattern coming on us now. And one thing that I like to mention on a regular basis is tools and tricks staying cool during hot weather operations. Like I said, summer is officially moving in. And keeping cool isn't just about comfort. It's about performance. It's about safety. It's about survival. So let's start with beverages. The best choice? Water. Still undefeated. Still the champion. Still the best hydration tool ever invented. Behind that would be electrolyte drinks. Useful when sweating heavily, particularly during long shifts in high heat. And be careful with excessive energy drinks, excessive caffeine, high sugar beverages. These can contribute to dehydration if they're replacing water. Yeah, caffeine. Those energy drinks have caffeine and some other stuff in them, and sugar that really does dehydrate more than anything. So make sure you're bulking up on the water. And as far as electrolyte drinks, if you're eating good, healthy meals, your electrolyte level should be fine. But if you're really sweating heavily like I do, for whatever reason, electrolytes, or half a teaspoon of salt in a bottle of water, that's electrolyte. But now let's talk food. Hot weather foods. I'll tell you a story. I was in Decatur, Alabama. We were taking down this hospital a piece at a time. That's a whole nother story in itself. But we were taking 3 stories off a 5-story hospital. And in the morning when I had our PTP meeting, I had about 15 guys there, 18 guys. And every morning, the night before, I would stop in the grocery store and pick up a watermelon at the Wally World. As long as they were in season, I did that. And it was hot, humid. And during our PTP meetings, everybody had a glass of water and a piece of watermelon. And what I was doing is I was going ahead, and while we were having a meeting, we were getting guys already hydrated, bringing their hydration levels up so that they were ready to go to work and were able to sustain productivity for a longer period of time before they had to take a break from the heat and to hydrate. But watermelon, you can use cantaloupe if they're on sale. Bags of oranges, done that. Any kind of grapes, strawberries. If you like cucumbers that early in the morning, salads for lunch, lean proteins for lunch, fresh vegetables. These kind of foods help support hydration and energy. And then you have some guys who would run out and get a hamburger and French fries when it was 95 degrees outside. But large greasy meals can make your body work during already stressful conditions. That double cheeseburger may sound wonderful at noon, but your body probably going to disagree at about 3 p.m. The goal is simple. Fuel your body without overloading it. Hydrate before you're thirsty. rest before you're exhausted. Look out for your coworkers. Pay attention to them, because heat illnesses often develop gradually. And the best prevention is awareness. So keep that in mind. Know the symptoms of heat stress or heat injuries. You got heat rash, heat stress, heat exhaustion, and heat stroke. Those 4 things, man, they wipe out so many guys in the heat. Make sure you know what the signs of those. Have a safety meeting around that. Anyway, that's what we got to do. Take care of your health. Don't eat too much of that heavy food at lunchtime. Save that for your evening meal, even though you shouldn't eat it that late in the evening, but whatever. I would say have it for breakfast, but that ain't no good either. Them heavy meals in the heat, they just ain't no good for you. To try and stick to the good stuff. But the best prevention is awareness. Y'all let me know how I'm getting out. How's the video look? How's the audio look? Send me a chat and encourage me or question me or challenge me. This is not just watch Scott. I want to make this a participation program where we talk about our challenges and share our experiences in construction and make contacts and opportunities. If you're a business owner and you're on here and you're looking for some guys who can do some trades, who can do something for you, post, hey man, I'm looking for some guys who can blah, blah, blah. And if they're watching, they might be looking for work. If you're not working, you still need to be up this early in the morning looking for work, right? And I could be a resource for that. Matter of fact, if you're looking for any kind of work, I've got lots of contacts out there in the field. Anything from project managers to safety guys to estimators to field guys, equipment operators. If you're looking for a job and you're qualified, I know plenty of people would love to have you right now. There's a lot of openings, but you, boy, don't make a fool out of me. It takes a lot for me to give you a recommendation, but I tell you what, if you're up at 5 o'clock in the morning watching this, you're already stepping in my direction, buddy, or lady, or whatever you are, worker, challenger, professional. If you're up this hour in the morning and you're watching me, you're stepping in the right direction. I'll guarantee that. Anyway, let's talk about what's going on this week on the channel. And that's the Toolbox Safety channel right here. I published at least one video a week. Right now, we've done a Focus 4 series. We've done a Fall Protection series. And now we're doing a PPE series. And all of these videos, all these series combined are what I would teach in an OSHA 10 or an OSHA 30. And so I've broken them down into 5 to 7 minute little pieces so that they can be used as a toolbox safety topic meeting. And also you'll be getting the information that is prerequisited to get your 10 or 30-hour OSHA card. So if you're new to the construction industry and you're watching these things, you're moving ahead, you're getting ahead. And so when you have to attend that 10-hour or 30-hour course through all of this, you have gained a leg up. But anyway, this week is I don't know if it's the second or the third in the series of PPE, which is on eye protection. And you've heard me say it before. If you can't see, you can't work. Construction sites contain eye hazards everywhere. Look, we're human beings. We didn't evolve to do construction. Well, in the past, we just didn't do much of what's going on now. You got dust, flying debris, grinding sparks. You got torch cutting operation. You got chemicals. You got compressed air and gases, concrete chips, wood fragments, medical particles, and often these hazards appear without warning. Most eye injuries occur in seconds. Well, I would say all of them occur in seconds. If you ain't prepared, you're exposing yourself. Even as I've gotten older, I won't go out there and weed eat or cut the grass unless I've got eye protection on. And many of these eye injuries are completely preventable. So this week's video covers the type of eye protection, safety glasses, goggles, face shield, proper fit, inspection, and maintenance. And I publish those videos on Friday. And it is the third video, I believe, because the first one is why PPE is necessary. And the second video was head protection. And the third video is on eye protection. And we'll talk about some of the common mistakes and OSHA's expectations and perhaps a real world injury example, because your eyesight is one of the most valuable tools you own, because you can replace a hammer and you can replace a saw, but you can't replace your eyes. Protect them accordingly. All right. Yeah. Eye protection. Even these glasses I'm sitting here watching or doing this video in is, since I'm looking at computer screens and lights, these have a blue light filter in them. So if you see light reflecting light back, it'll have a blue tint to it because it's reflecting it away from my eyes, and blue light has a damaging effect on your eyes over the long term. So anyway, even sitting here behind the computer screens and on the camera, I am wearing eye protection. Weird, ain't it? Don't expect any flying debris unless there's a bug flying around somewhere, flying your eyeball. Hey, don't laugh. If I've been on jobs where gnats have been getting in people's eyes, and man, you got another gnat in your eye. Get in the corner, man, and get stuck in the mucus, and you can't get them they stuck like glue. Anyway, so how do you get one out? Well, you wash it out. Hold on, man, let me get my pocket knife out. I dig it out. That's why I used to tell them they come lay down, open your eye. Hey, Bubba, hand me your pocket knife. Start struggling right off the bat. Anyway, laughter is the best medicine. Yeah, eye protection. Man, if you've ever had to watch them dig out a piece of metal out of a dude's eye, and sometimes now you just can't have just safety glasses on. Sometimes you need a face shield on. I've walked up on guys and they thought they was doing the right thing and using a side grinder, and man, those sparks was going everywhere. And they just two different scenarios. They just have a face mask on. Hey man, I got a face mask on. I said, good man, that's good. What if something bounces in there and gets in your eye? Well, I don't know. I said, put some safety glasses on. Or you walk up on a guy, he's grinding away. Our burning operation guy standing out there in his safety glasses and their proper shade 5, and he's blasting away. Old gas will pop that hot steel and shower everybody with molten metal and walk up on him and say, hey, brother, you gonna get your face burned? He said, what? I said, get a face shield. I ain't got one, then don't work. They'll find one, I guarantee you. That's one of the funniest. I ain't got one. I ain't got none. Well, quit working. I'll go tell your supervisor you're in the truck waiting on, you ain't got no equipment. Boy, they'll find one. And I hate to be that way, but I don't want you to get injured, man. I know. Safety guy's a butthole. That's all right. I've been butthole long enough. Don't hurt my feelings none. All right. Now, it's 5:47 in the morning, Monday morning, Bubba. Hope everybody's rolling along, getting ready to go. Yeah. Where are we going? What we doing? Are we hanging out today? Or we got an indoor job? Which is worse? Which is worse in the summertime? An outdoor job where you're forming concrete or something like that and you're standing in the blazing sun, or being in a building that's hot and stuffy. The HVAC is not in yet and it's mostly closed in and you're having to do work in an enclosed building. Which would you rather be in the heat of summer? Outdoor and taking your chances with the blazing sun. I know you could put long sleeve shirts on and wear a sombrero over your hard hat and face covers and all that stuff to keep the sun from scorching you. So, or you could be indoors working in a unventilated building, maybe a swamp band somewhere in the 3rd floor in a 10-story building. Tell me, which would you rather be working in? I'm interested to know. I'm not even sure which one I'd want to be working in. I think I'd rather be out in the full sun than a swampy ass building, high humidity, smelling everybody else's sweat and debris from their body. I don't know. Tell me what you think. Anyway, summertime, here we are. Thank goodness for summertime, long days. You can get the hours in. I know very few companies that work just an 8-hour day in the summertime. If you're let me know. I want to know, do you work 8 hours a day during the summertime, or does your company have the philosophy of make hay while the sun is shining? That's what I want to know. I want to know what your work schedule is in the summertime. Now, productivity wise, I know that after lunchtime, boy, productivity takes a nosedive, and then you get into after 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, it's really nosediving. You just never know how much more work you're getting done. And a lot of that is related to not taking proper breaks, not staying hydrated, not having proper nourishment. Your body is just wore out. The sun saps the energy from you. And the reason it does that is because your body is really working hard to keep its temperature regulated. And that's tough. If you're sweating, your body's working. You know that. And that's because it's trying to regulate its temperature. It's not like a stroll in the park. Anyway, boy, it is 10 minutes to the hour and 10 minutes of fun left here with the Middle Class Bubba. Listen, feel free to, if you've got a particular safety concern or a scheduling concern, I'm not just a safety guy. I've done a lot of things. If you've got a challenge in your project and you'd like to bring it forward, feel free to contact me. I post my email address up there. You're free to send me a message. You can send me a chat through the YouTube channel and tell me what's going on. And I may not have the answer, but at least talking about it, we can create the mastermind and come up with a solution. And if it's a real challenge, I've got a lot of people in the industry throughout the years that I can call on and say, hey, how can we do this? What's the best way to do this? How can we do this safely? And listen, it's like I tell my guys in the field all the time, there is 1,000,001 ways how to do anything. There's 1,000,001 ways to do anything safely. And if you're stuck on a project and you've got a challenge in front of you, there's 1,000,001 people out there who can help you do it. But you first have to ask. Formulate your challenge, present it in a question that others can understand, and somebody will help you. I guarantee it. People love to tell you how much they know, especially old middle class. All right. As we moving through it, well, the sun is climbing. Traffic is moving, or maybe standing still at this point. The crews are getting there. And another week of opportunity stands before us. And make no mistake, it is a week of opportunity. That's the way you need to wake up every day, knowing that opportunities are plentiful if you look at it right. What's that old song lyric by the Grateful Dead? Shone the light in the strangest places if you look at it right. So look at it right. Look at it right. You'll see it. Remember this week's lesson. Thinking ain't enough anymore. Because at some point, action becomes necessary. Build the life. Build the skill. Build the character. And build the future. And while you're building, protect yourself. Use your PTP. Stay hydrated. Look after your eyes. Watch out for your coworkers. And remember, the safest workers aren't the lucky ones. They're the prepared ones. And from me here at Monday Morning Bubba, from the ever-watching Pluriforia, where's she at? She's right there, right there. What happened? Smiling quietly somewhere beyond the digital Appalachian Mountains. Thank you for spending part of your morning with us. Until we see each other again, as always, look out for yourself because you're number one. Look out for your coworkers and help ensure they're safe. Be safe. Be timely. Be efficient. Now, let's go build something worthwhile. Have a wonderful work week, everybody. Have a grateful day. And we'll see you next time.
It's Monday morning. Time to go to work. Blue collar worker, time to wake up and roll. Get that coffee in your system, get your mind and your soul. Boots by the doorway, hard hat riding shotgun. Sun ain't even up yet, but the day's already begun. Steel toes hit the gravel, cold air fills your lungs. Another day to build it right, another job to get done. No shortcuts taken, no easy road we choose. We earn every dollar, got too much pride to lose. Get that coffee and hit the road, no delay, no slowing down. Another job, another load, we're the backbone of this town. Get to the site and get to working, hands in motion, engines turning, making America great again. With sweat and grit we're earning, breaking down the old and failing, building strength that won't give in. From the ground up, never trailing, making America great again. No desk or office space for us, no climate control routine. We work in dirt, steel, and concrete, where real lives lived and seen. Using our heads, hands, and backs, every move has got a cost. Measure cuts and steady hands, no room for getting lost. Blueprints in the morning light, changing plans by noon, solving problems on the fly, getting it done real soon. Weather don't stop nothing, rain, cold, or blazing heat, we show up ready every day and stand on our own 2 feet. Get that coffee and hit the road, no delay, no slowing down. Another job, another load, we're the backbone of this town. Get to the side and get to working, hands in motion, engines turning, making America great again. With sweat and grit we're earning, breaking down the old and failing, building strength that won't give in. From the ground up, never trailing, making America great again. Building the new infrastructure to hold the future, laying down the work that time won't erase, building up again from sending rockets to housing the many every place. From highways stretching miles and miles to homes where families grow. We don't just build for today, we build for years we'll never know. You see it when you drive by, steel going up, concrete being poured. That's us. That's blue collar, building a newer, stronger foundation, rising higher every day, building stronger, higher and better. We don't back down or fade away, making America great again. Every beam and every stone, we don't just build the country, we build a place called home.